And 3, 2, 1. Hey, welcome to the Back and Forth. And I'm your co-host, Kevin, and this is my co-host,
Shanelle. Hello, everybody.
I'm sorry. I apologize for her. She spoke right over top of me. But as usual, we are here again another week, and we have got some more great topics for you. This week, the hot topic is this. Me and Shanelle are going to put on a little play because sometimes just because someone thinks you have it, they should not be in your pockets telling you how to spend your money. Let's go. You ready? Why here we go. All right, everybody. Welcome, everybody. It's another good week. And again, she's over here laughing. I don't know why. I tell you what, it's been another great week, and we are happy to be back giving you these hot topics and all this discussion that's in the co-parenting, step parenting, bonus parenting, blended family parenting, grandparenting. Did I miss one this week?
Just the whole village.
The whole village again. Here we go. The whole village again. So, Shanelle, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you, how was your week?
Well, Kev, I had a great week. I had some self-care with my girls this week, so that was pretty awesome. How was your week?
My week was wonderful. In a hotel room, again, as you see, due to COVID restrictions, people from the U.S., we can't just walk around in the U.K. like we want to. So we have to self-isolate in our rooms. We go to work, we come back to our rooms. So it's been an eventful week, walking back and forth in my room, as I do my exercises. But other than that, I'm blessed, happy to be here, feeding you all again this content, this information that me and Shanelle keep running into for some reason. We just keep getting fed co-parenting and other parenting situations. And I think our cuppeth. Ooh, that didn't come out right. Oh, cup.
Maybe. Is that what you were trying to say?
What did you say?
Cup? Was it cup or cuppeth?
Cup. Our cup.
Which cup?
Stop. Let me get it out. Our cup is runneth over with information and scenarios. And so we want to jump right in there because we don't want to waste y'all time with Shanelle trying to call me out as she usually does. And so I'm going to jump right in there. So, Shanelle.
What's up, Kev?
What would you say is harder to deal with? A disrespectful child or a disrespectful parent?
Ooh.
I just want to see what your answer is going to be because it's going to run right into this scenario.
What's harder to deal with? What is harder to do? Which is harder? I would say a disrespectful, because I can handle a child. Don't get it twisted. I can handle a child, but a disrespectful parent or co-parent, I think is harder to deal with because, once the child is already here, you can't do nothing about it. That's the parent, But a child, yes, they're moldable, shapeable. A good rod of the Lord will straighten all of that out. But I think I would say I would say a disrespectful parent will probably be the most difficult. What do you think?
Pause. You said a good what of the Lord?
The rod of the Lord. He said the rod driveth it far from him. Spare the rod for the child. Let that rod of the Lord drive that disrespect far from him. So we're going to drive it far from him.
I got you. I understand, but you said the rod of the Lord. I wanted to make sure our viewers heard the rod of the Lord.
Are we doing this again?
No, you said it. I'm just trying to clarify what you said so the viewers understood what you said, because some people out there who may be new listeners.
I meant the rod of correction.
Because,
what rod are you talking about?
First of all, you did not do what we spoke about prior to the show starting. I think it was 3 seconds prior to the show starting. And you let me go right into this next this first topic without slowing down. Shanelle, we are doing this continuously. And, we all have a responsibility. I know I don't have any cue cards or notes up here. We're speaking from the heart. But Shanelle, who are you, again, for the new people who are viewing us? Who are you? So that way people get to know who you are. We'll come back to this, but I need to let these people know who you are. Who art thou?
Is it just me, Kev? Why is it just me? We need to know who you are, too.
I passed the baton so you can get it, and then I'll bring it back.
Oh, you passed me the rod of correction. Okay, so my name is Shanelle Renee, and I am a... My name is Shanelle Renee, and I'm a certified life coach and registered mediator. And what I do is I help people to identify the strongholds that hold them back in their relationships, their parenting, their careers, and ultimately their lives. And so I'm excited to be here to share all kinds of experiences with you all as a dialogue with Mr. Kev over here about the village. So Kev, we're going to go back and forth today, aren't we?
Why, yes, Shanelle, we are. Or as I may say...
You already started going back and forth. You already started going back and forth with me.
Yeah. I didn't introduce myself. Hello, everybody. My name is Kevin Scott, and I am, you could find me on Instagram at Kevin_L_Scott. I am also a certified coach, speaker, trainer, and author of, at a one time, it was the number one selling book, the 32K format, A Co-Parent's Guide to Becoming a Better Person and a Better Parent. So that book is out there. You can find it online at any online source you want to find it at. And I, too, am happy to be here, as Shanelle has said, to be able to feed into everyone, to basically get them information that we may be running into, because that's what the back and forth is about. It's about me and Shanelle going back and forth on topics, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So, Shanelle, can I get back to what we were talking about?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. So we're going to jump in there. The reason I asked you that question, about what's worse, a disrespectful parent or a disrespectful child, is because we ran into this post and it said this: there are two things I hate: a disrespectful child and a parent that thinks it's funny. What say you on this? Because I have some follow up to this once I hear what you got to say.
Oh, okay. So you're going to give me the floor on this one first. Okay. So this post reminded me of something that I'm going to say this because I'm going to speak from a personal experience, and then I'm going to speak from a co-parenting experience on this topic. So I remember growing up that, my parents had issues, when we were growing up in the home. And I remember while they were in their issues, my dad would do, he would kind of do some aggravating things, and we would kind of jump on board because it looked like it was fun to do, but it would be aggravating my mom. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, as a child, we didn't realize we're trying to have fun. He doing it, so we get to do what daddy do, and he laughed and we laughed. And ultimately, my mom is aggravated. Like the whole house is like against her. Right. Mm-hmm. And we, of course, didn't think nothing of it. But as an adult, I realized how disrespectful it was to my mom, not only for us to be disrespecting her, but for my dad to be enjoying it, and co-signing it. Right. So I had to repent because I was like, oh my God, that was awful. That was awful. So long story short, fast forward, I'm co-parenting now, with my son's father. And, my son kind of told me what was happening at his dad's house. Mm-hmm. And so it was kind of the same thing that my brother and I was doing to my mom. We were aggravating my mom, and my dad was laughing and co-signing the whole thing. And so I had a conversation, of course I told my son, I said, no, that's not nice to do or whatever. But I had a private conversation with his father about it. And I said, this is what this is. This is what you're teaching him to do. And I said, this is not something I feel like we should be teaching him. Because it's not only is it disrespectful for him to do that to her, but you're co-signing it and you think it's funny. And he admittedly, he said, Shanelle, you're right. It at the time I'm upset with her. I needed somebody on my team, and we did it. And it was like we aggravated her together, and it made me feel stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it actually makes you look weaker if you got to get your kid to co-sign that with you. So this is a real painful point for me because, like I said, realizing how my mom must have felt when we were doing that, it hurt me. It hurt my spirit. Like, I can't believe, we were a part of that. And like I said, as kids, you don't know. You're just doing what you see your parents do.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it was very disrespectful, and that shouldn't have went on. And I don't like to see other kids do that. I don't like to see parents co-sign their kids disrespecting parents or adults, period. So what are your thoughts about it? I kind of bore my heart on that one. Well, what are your thoughts, Kev?
I want you to think about society and how the things we view, how it can influence the way we act. If you can look at television, you can look at anything on social media. A lot of the times a father is put down. I want you to think back to, there were different TV shows that used to come on a long time ago. Like, what's that? Was that not Modern Family? It was another TV show. It was the one with Al Bundy on it and stuff like that. Married with Children.
It was Modern Family. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Married with Children. You think about cartoons, even like The Simpsons. You think about all those other shows, The Family Guy. Look at the cartoons. Look at the TV shows out there. And how is a father portrayed? He may be portrayed as being weak, dumb. People make fun of him. And so you got to look at it from that standpoint. These things don't just happen on a coincidence, because I don't believe in coincidence. I think things happen for a reason. And sometimes things happen because we let them. I can recall, my children growing up, like my daughter she was notorious. She did this stuff all the time because her mom would do it. And they would basically get up. I was a person who, how do you say, don't poke the bear, because I would get upset easily. And then once I got upset, I had to calm down. And so a trigger word to me was calm down. When I was calm, when in my mind I'm calm, and somebody tells you to calm down, and then someone does that, and they say, well, I know it's going to make you upset. That's why we did that. And as a child, the child sees the mom doing it, and so she mimicked it. And she would do that. Yeah. And it's like, you tell somebody, don't do that. That's disrespectful. I'm fine. Don't do that. And you live with that, and the kids think it's funny and everything, but it's not. Think about it. As a parent, at the minimum, you want the respect from your children, and you are not, we can laugh and joke and have fun, but not at somebody else's expense. Because when it gets to the point where it's upsetting or it hurts somebody, then we need to stop, and we need to be aware of those things. But if we keep doing those things, imagine you doing that now as a child, and then you grow up and you repeat that with your spouse, and you wonder where it came from. And, and your new spouse will be saying, well, why would you do that? Oh, we used to do my dad like that all the time, and we thought it was funny. And, so we have to be careful with these things and what we're leading our kids to doing, because just because we think it's funny and the kids are being disrespectful, ultimately we are basically feeding that into our children, and that can be repeating itself later on down the line. Because remember, I said, we've been talking about it before, our kids see everything that we do and they mimic us. And the things that we think are funny may not be that funny. You remember that thing I was telling you about, that video of that little girl in the bathroom? And she made the statement, and she was saying, I'll pull it up on the camera. I'll put it up in the video somewhere in the middle here. And, she was in the bathroom and she was saying she was basically saying she needed to wipe her butt, but she didn't say the word butt. She said something else, and she was looking for some toilet tissue. And then she said, ooh, oh, I found it. And, and the mom was outside the door of the bathroom laughing. So if this is a toddler, somebody young that's saying this, imagine what she's saying outside of the house. And you can't try to coach your child and say, hey, don't say that when you're outside of the house. Because if a child is picking it up from the parent now, it goes outside the house. We're not going to sit there and be naive and say that kind of stuff is not happening. So, I don't want to take up too much time on that, but what do you think about that?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. My son actually did that when he didn't do what this little girl did, but he picked up something, and we were at the grocery store, and he's looking at something, and I'm going down the aisle, and he's trying to, he's learning how to talk, and he's trying to figure out what something was, and he said something, and I said, wait a minute, what? And it just shocked me. But it was around the time that his father and I had separated. And so, his father, I guess, was exploring single life again. And he was visiting with me. And so I called my mother-in-law, I still consider her my mother-in-law, but I called her and I told her what was happening. And she said, well, Shanelle, I just want you to know it's not coming from me, but I do have a feeling of where it is coming from. So again, using your village to get down to the bottom of what is being woven into the fabric of your children's lives is so important. And everybody kind of being on similar pages as to what type of moral code you want your children to have and grow up with, and what kind of ethical values you want them to have, and what kind of character and integrity you want them to have. Because like I said, with us communicating, we can kind of get to the bottom of where he picked that up from at such a young age and correct it very quickly before it got to a point where it was really a problem. And so I, with this little girl and watching this video, I can't even imagine a mom videoing this entire thing and posting it. You don't
everything for social media.
Yourself. Yeah. Right. It's just like, how are you don't care about how people see you, and it was like #bad parenting, so it's really, that's what you want to be. That's how you want to become famous, because you're a bad parent. Like, what is it?
We do stuff for the views, and then we get upset with people because the stuff we post on social media, we think that is portray us in a bad light. But then we start saying, you don't know me, you don't know my situation, but you put it out there so everybody can see it. So now you put yourself out there for people to start judging you. And so I want you to say, because you do a great job of segueing us, and I like the way you segued that one, Shanelle, because that segues into our second one for the day. And let me read this one. How about this one, Shanelle? There was a post out there from a young lady who was saying, it started off by saying, if we not married, why would I give a child I carried for 9 months your last name? Why? How? And I'm making the sounds because I'm laughing because it rolled into a big thing here where this one came out. And it said, if we're not married, it's my child, and I don't have to give my child that I carried for 9 months the last name of a man who ain't my husband. He's just the father, and there's no long ties to him. Even if we're married, I don't need to give my kids my husband's last name. It's 2021. Woo-hoo-hoo. I'm gonna give that to you, Shanelle, because I know I got some feelings on this one. I'm gonna give this one you first. You run with it.
Lord.
You run with the social and the medias and the internets.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. So, I'm pretty well known especially with my group of clients and my co-parenting group, for just keeping it real. I keep it real. I don't be disrespectful. I'm not disrespectful, but I do keep it real, because I got to give people the real for them to really see and take responsibility for the actions that they make. Okay. Yeah. So let's just be honest. We're adults here. You decided to lay down and have this child, right? You got to do something to get pregnant, right? So you decided to do this and have unprotected sex to get pregnant and have this child. Why are we acting brand new now?
It's 2021.
Why are we acting brand new now?
It's 2021.
Because ultimately, you chose this person as that child's father. If you didn't want that to be your child's father, then why are you having unprotected sex with him? Why did you lay down with him?
We're just doing something.
Well, then be protected. So now you end up with this child, but you don't want to take responsibility for the whole grand scheme of things. This is his child as well. You can't just make a child by yourself. This is his child as well. Okay. So ultimately, it seems like you want to take full credit for creating this child. You didn't go down to the sperm bank and you didn't do that. You went down and laid down with this man and had a whole baby.
It's 2021 though.
It is. And it's going to be 2022 next year. That don't stop people from doing the stuff that they've been doing back in the Bible days to have children.
Oh, you talking about Mary? Are you talking about Mary?
No.
Mary ain't got nothing to do with this. Why are you going to do Mary like that?
We're talking about Eve. We're talking about Eve. We're talking about all these people that laid down and had kids and knew their husbands. They knew their husbands. That's how they got married. They knew them.
I thought you were talking about Mary. I was like, Mary had nothing to do with this.
You know, back in the Bible days, they didn't have marriage. They knew their husbands. They knew them, and that's what made them married. Right? So you went down and knew this man. So technically, you married to this man.
Now, before the show, we had a discussion, and you just made the title for this show on your statement just then. And
Lord, I have a way of doing that.
You, and I'm quite sure you didn't even know what you just said.
I don't know. What did I say?
You said you went down and knew this man. And you talk about me.
Oh, no.
And you talk about me.
Lay down and knew this man.
It's on the tape, and it will make the title. It's gonna be so you can continue with your saying. I'm gonna let you finish. Continue. Go ahead.
You threw me all the way off track. You can't do that. You got to edit this out. Take it out. Take it out.
Okay, I'll edit it out.
But all I'm saying is this. And if you don't want to believe in the eyes of God that you're married to this man because you knew this man, okay? We knew him like the Bible says you knew him, right? You don't want to say that you're married. Okay, fine. We are in 2021. They do require you to have a marriage license to solidify that you are married. All right, I get it. So now what are you going to do when they say, okay, what is the child's paternity? Because there's no court that's going to say that you're the only parent in this, unless you went down to the sperm bank.
In vitro, something like that.
And you don't know the last name of the man because you don't know him.
Artificially inseminated. Yeah.
Right. So we're not talking about artificial insemination. We're talking about you knew him in the sexual way. Okay. However y'all did it, you knew him in that way. And you know his last name, but you don't want to take his last name for your child. That's part of creating this child. So what court are you going to be able to go to and say, he doesn't have a father, sir, judge, your honor? They're going to be looking at you like, ma'am, did you just fall off the apple tree? He has a father.
Yeah. And I follow you on your points. But I just wanted to touch on the next to the last point that was made in that quote, where it said that even if we're married, I don't need to give my kids my husband's last name. I want to know, how temporary are we? Are we just living for just quick satisfaction? We in and we out and we're done? Because if you are married to somebody, you are with that person. And so your children coming into this world, like I said before, it's not their fault they're here. But you all have formed a union. You're married and you have children. And so now if you have his last name, or unless you choose not to have his last name and you hyphenate it or whatever, so that you mean to tell me the children are not entitled to have their father's last name, somebody who you may marry to, somebody who may be taking care of you, somebody who may be there for you. You loved him for some reason. You got married to him, but you're saying that children can't have that person's last name? we talked about disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is another level of disrespect. And I don't care what year it is, because that right there will follow you. That right there will look at you, will have children. And I've seen it before, Shanelle, where somebody tried to change the child's last name after they got divorced. They literally tried to change the child's last name after they got divorced. So how confusing is that to a child?
Yeah.
I mean, so we have to think of, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. You're absolutely right. That is so. I actually had a client where it was this boy had so many different last names. One of the issues, the last name came up as an issue because he was counseling with me, and he said, Miss Shanelle, why I'm trying to figure out why I don't have my dad's last name. And so I've asked relatives, and everybody's giving me so many different answers. So I want to have this conversation with my father. So he had the conversation with his father and the mother, and it was a mess, a hot mess. And then he had the last name of somebody that wasn't even part of the family.
Oh, boy.
How crazy is that? How crazy is that?
Yeah. And you know, we have to be careful the damage that we are doing to our children. You know, it's almost like along the line where you name a child, some child that doesn't make sense. We each name a child love seat recliner, and you think it's cute, but you're not thinking about the child. You think about yourself and how somebody's going to portray you. Oh, girl, you name your child. That's such a cute name, but the child had no say in this whatsoever. This child has to go to school, has to meet friends and get clowned because of their name, possibly. And we don't think about those kind of things. We don't think about what's going to happen in this child's future when they're 17, 18 years old and they're going out to be their own person, and they have to explain these things. When somebody comes to you in school as a parent and they're looking at your child's last name, they say, "Hello, Miss So-and-so." And you say, no, my last name is this right here. And the child's got to be like, "Yeah, I'm sorry. That's my mom. And I don't, or that's my dad. I don't have his same last name," or something like that.
Right.
We have to think about those things. I mean, something that happened, and I'm not being funny here. I am not being funny. I'm not being funny. Something that may have taken you all of a minute to do created a child, and this child is going to be stuck with this for the rest of their lives.
Right.
So a minute of your actions can last a lifetime with a child. And so we have to think about those things. I'm sorry.
No, that's a great point. And one major point, and this is one of the things that I ultimately, if people just not getting it, like they just really not getting it, even if I break it down all the way to the kindergarten level, they still don't get it. I say to them, well, your blood ain't running through that child's veins. That father, whether you like him or not, it's that father's blood that's running through that child's veins.
Yes.
And that just stops people. Like you want to take all this credit. You don't even own the blood that's running through his veins.
You going scientific.
Okay,
You going scientific.
Well, I mean, like I said, sometimes you just got to break it. You break it all the way down and people don't get it. They just like, are you slow? Like what? Like you forgot what happened 9 months ago?
I tell you what, you on a roll. Last week you waxed poetic, and now you're rolling scientific. But you are on it. You are. I'll tell you what, you are academic.
Listen, well, here's the thing. Here's the thing with co-parenting. I know people change, and I know people act a fool, but I tell people all the time, watch who you have children with. It's one thing to be having fun. I get it. I do. I get it. But be protected, because when you bring a child, you're signing up for a lifetime with this person. And whatever is in their DNA, whatever's in their generational bloodline, that's going to be in your child. It's not about just having fun. It's about, if this person got all kind of stuff running through that bloodline, guess what's going to be running through your kid's bloodline?
Oh, that's spirit for real.
You're going to be having to deal with. Guess what you're going to be going to the school, trying to fuss with the teachers about, because your child is acting like their father's family.
Those
for
spirits.
their mother's family.
That's right. Those spirits and those generational curses are real.
Okay.
That's right.
So y'all thinking y'all just having fun, but you really are creating a spawn of the both of your family mingled into one.
Yep.
Or two or three or whatever, however many you have. So it's not about just, I'm going to have this kid, I'm going to raise him on my own, and I'm going to get this government assistance and all. No. This kid may got some real bad demons running through him, and you don't even know you don't even know how to fight. You don't even know what principalities you about to be messing with right now.
Yeah. Well, Shanelle Renee, because the things you're saying right now could come back 18 years later and rear their ugly heads because of the way you feel about somebody as a parent, how you feel about the other parent may come out at sometimes the most inopportune times when you as a parent have made a promise to somebody and now you are stuck having to explain this because there is something that me and you need to take care of. I say you were going academic and I wanted you to go ahead and jump on it, but you took off again. So I had to bring you back. So I say you wax poetic, you're being scientific. And
you were giving me all the hits.
And I wasn't giving you a hit. I was trying to get you to come on with me here. Because I told the people at the beginning here that we were going to do a little skit because we got the hot topic that's coming up.
Ding, 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 ding,
fire,
ding,
fire,
ding.
fire, 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 fire. I don't know if I'm gonna have some graphics pop on the screen. Fire, fire. but Shanelle brought up something this week that I wanted to pay real close. I want you all to pay real close attention to because this right here is real, and I'm gonna tell you how quickly things can escalate. And we have to be careful with our communication. So Shanelle, you want to run through this thing? We're going to play back and forth off this. There's a long text message strand that's coming up.
I don't know about you. I'm gonna be animated with mine.
Okay.
Because this is the whole skit.
This is a skit that we shall call "Get Out My Pockets." Okay.
I'm dead. I can't.
Because I know you thought I was about to say something else, but I didn't. So get out my pockets. That's the name of the play. So, so I will let you. I will let you be the mom, and I will be the dad. And for the viewers, I'll pull it up on the screen right here in the middle somewhere. I'll put it up in the middle somewhere. You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
Hello. Wanted to remind you, LJ's prom is June 18th. He said he texted you and you never responded. Are you going to happen me or not? Or no?
No, she ain't send me no message. I know she ain't send me no message this time of night. It's 11. It's after 11 o'clock. LJ told me you're renting him a luxury vehicle that's $2,000 for 3 days. His suit, gas, pictures, and food is another $1,000. That's $3,000 for one night. I don't have that type of money. You got child support on the first. Why did you promise him something before talking to me? Send.
Well, sir, you've been ignoring him. This is his special night. He dealt with so much this past year, and he deserves the best. I'm not asking for $3,000. I'm asking for $1,500 so we can go half. Sir, I said that already. You have enough time to save. You had enough time to save. Kev?
Still after 11 o'clock. She still sending me a message. Listen here. I have about 2 weeks, and it was rough for us all. I took a huge hit with ours. I have a newborn daughter to support as well. I don't have $1,500. You need to be practical. I can take him to the prom in my car for all that. There you go. How about that? He will still have an amazing time. Take it or leave it.
No, he didn't.
You better not call me.
No, you didn't.
You better not send me no more messages. You better not send me no more messages.
You know what? You just broke. You just a broke down person. That's why he called my boyfriend his dad anyway. Because he does what you can't do. This is your son's special night and you being cheap. Keep your little money. Good night, bum.
Well, she sent me another message again. Well, that escalated quickly. So you've been receiving this bum's child support for the last 16 years, yet I'm the bum? Before your boyfriend came along, this bum helped you out with rent 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times. So take your bitter behind back to bed. Send.
First of all, he don't want to ride in your Escalade. Okay? He deserves his own vehicle. And I'm not asking for much. You're just being selfish. Your new one doesn't require the same as your 17-year-old son. How much can you give me then?
And she sent me that message. First of all, it's selfish, not selfless.
You know what I meant.
First, I didn't send that. I'm typing. So, how about this? I'll compromise. I can give you $250. You just got $319 on the first. You have another $319 on the 15th. That's almost $1,000 right there. You shouldn't have made promises that you can't keep. I repeat, I will not go broke trying to spend beyond my means, ma'am. And sin.
No, he didn't.
And
no,
sin.
He didn't. No, 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 he didn't. Tell me he gonna send me $250.
Taking my glasses.
$250?
That's what I said.
$250.
That's what I said.
That ain't nothing. Child support is for his living, sir. Not for this. It's for his living and upkeep. You can do better than $250. Are you really telling me? Are you really? That's what we doing? That's what we doing?
And she sent another message. It's late. I'm tired of this mess. I'll tell you what. You know what? I'm going to put my foot down. I said what I said. That's all I can do. It's late and I'm tired. If $250 ain't nothing, then I can't help you. I can drive my Escalade and pay for the food and the rest of that stuff, and you'll have a good time. I'm out. Peace. And I'm going back to sleep. End scene. Title of that play was called.
How y'all think we did?
The title of that play was called "Get Your Hands in My Pockets." You know. So Shanelle.
Oh Lord.
That was quite interesting, as I might say myself, because that right there escalated quickly. It went from asking for money to I don't have the money to getting called broke. And sometimes as parents, we think that we can dictate what somebody else spends. That's why it's best to have communication. You shouldn't have been speaking through the child again. This is something else we talked about before, about the child is not the mediator.
Right.
If you need something from that other parent, that's especially if it's financial, then you need to reach out to that parent, because $3,000 is a hefty price to pay for somebody. Yeah. You, even if you have it, it's still a hefty price to pay for a child, and you want your child to have the best, but you also have to be reasonable, because you have to take the other parent into consideration, because it's not just about you and what you want for the child. It's about what the both of y'all should want for the child, what's best for them. And sometimes they're not going to get it. And that's just being real. And so we can laugh about this and joke about this, but this is real, because it went from asking for money. He didn't want to give it up. He's tired of paying child support. He's already paying child support anyway, getting called broke, and then saying that's why my son called my boyfriend dad anyway. So what do you want? You want to still ask him for money after you done basically try to poke away at his pride and his dignity? Come on.
Right.
Come on.
That's crazy. I mean, to bring that, first of all, for that to even be a thing where your child is calling someone else dad, and his dad is doing his part, at least paying child support. You know, I don't know what the visitation, all that look like, but at least he's paying his part. He's not trying to skirt around and avoid supporting him financially. I don't agree with that. I've never agreed with that on no level. Because it is, again, this boy got this man's blood running through his veins. Okay. And to call someone else that, like, that's never okay in my book. Never okay in my book. But like you said, digging in somebody else's pockets, make plans with your own money. If you want to give him a $3,000 prom night, then you do it. You save your coins and do it. And then you know, if you want to discuss the plans with the father and say, yeah, this is what we're doing, I got it, you know, but this is what we're doing. And if he decides like, hey, let me chip in, that's his decision. But don't make that an obligation for him to do that because that's your idea.
Yeah.
No, it don't work that way. It never works that way.
And that is a good point. I mean, we have to be cognizant of what goes on around us. You know, understand that somebody else has other things going on. And it's like I said, it's none of your business what the other parents doing in their household. But if you do need something, you need to reach out and have that conversation. You know, and don't depend on your child saying that this is what they need, because who knows where that's coming from. So that's an agreement that the two of you need to have. And like Shanelle said, if you want your child to have a $3,000 night, and that's what you want, then by all means you do it. You're not obligated. You're not obligated to, as an other parent, to have to pay that unless you written it down and you have an agreement. That's what y'all two of you going to do. Other than that, everything else is above and beyond. You know, so be careful. All I can say is be careful. Be careful. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know that prom is an obligation. You know, I don't know that prom is a obligated expense. I know that, you know, extracurricular things like that, you know, you discuss that among yourself, but I don't know that prom is one. It would be considered one. But I will say this though, you know, perhaps the son, let's just say the son reached out to the father just to discuss the plans, right? Not necessarily to ask, but this is what I'm thinking about doing. Mom and I were talking about this, blah, 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 blah. You know, he never responded back to the son. So depending on how the son reached out to him, if the son reached out to him and said, hey, you know, we're doing this, we need some money, that's not the best way to approach it on any day. You know, on any day.
Nope.
You know, yes, if you're having a conversation, I remember this is kind of off of child support, but I remember having conversations with my mom when I was planning my wedding, right? My parents were not together at the time, but me having a conversation with my mom was just a conversation with my mom. It wasn't about me getting money from her. It wasn't any of that. It was just me having a conversation with my mom. My dad was paying for it, but I wasn't reaching out to my mom to manipulate the situation. It was just, I'm having a conversation with my mom. So that first part was kind of confusing. Was the son reaching out for money, or was the son just reaching out to include his dad on the plan?
Well, I mean, we'll never know. That's why I said all we have are what people post on the social and the medias. And so we run with it. So just imagine if me and you could sit here and decipher this and make a play out of it, or short skit, as you call it, you know, showing our thespian abilities. I said thespian. You heard me.
You said what?
I said thespian. It's on your face. So showing our abilities. So, you know, we can do this here, but imagine the people out there who are reading this that are having some kind of feelings about this and saying, oh yeah, his mama right. You know, somebody saying, yeah, I'm with the dad. So people will weigh on both sides of this. We're just giving you our perspective on it, you know. So, you know, as a co-parent, you have to be careful with these things. We're trying to give you positive ways to get out of this stuff, but we want to be real with you and see and let you see what's going on out there, because these things do happen. Just in case you run into them, So you need to be aware that you are not alone. Somebody else may be going through something that you think that's just you that's going through. And that's what we're here to do. So with that being said, we've had another great week. This hot topics here. I mean, I enjoy this and the time goes so fast. But Shanelle, tell us what you got going on and what you got going on this week and where can we find you?
So this week I have, what do I have going on this week? Same old. I'm getting ready for a speaking engagement, actually. Putting some stuff together. Yes. I'm also a speaker too. I don't know if I mentioned that, but yes, I'm getting ready for that. We got a lot of stuff going on in the fall, but right now during the summertime, I'm putting together a book for parents coming from divorce into single parenthood or co-parenthood. Putting together something for that. I'm also I have put together a mentorship program where people can sign up and have a monthly subscription just for mentorship throughout the month. And we're doing this amazing show that you guys need to invite your friends to come and see and make sure they subscribe because we have some, I'm telling you, this show right here, we talk about some topics that are just real life situations. And the perspectives, I love the dynamic because we come from different perspectives, but at the same time, ultimately, it goes right back into what's the best for the kids. What is going to be the best decision, the best behavior for the kids? And so I'm excited. I'm excited about that, Kev. What you got going on?
As Shanelle said, I got the same old. I don't know what that meant, but she said she got the same old going on. So I'm going to continue reaching out to parents out there. I'm going to continue posting out there on Instagram. You can still reach me on my website. Go to the link in my bio on Instagram, and you can get different co-parenting tips and different things that help you out with self-care, ways to communicate. And if you want a free 32-minute coaching consultation, go to my website and click on that link by contact me, or reach me on any way you want to reach me on my social media pages, DM me or send it to us, because we want you all to send us scenarios or things you all are going through, because maybe it will hit this show one day and we'll probably let you know that we saw this as one of our comments. And so we want to make sure that we are giving you all the credit out there for putting this stuff out here too. So, hey, come back next week, but don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you know when the next show is going to be hitting, which will be on a Wednesday. Of course, we're going to be putting them out there on Wednesday. So come back next week and we'll have more topics with you. Shanelle, take us home.
All right, y'all. So y'all just continue to stay safe, continue to be the amazing parents that you are, and make sure you put God first, safety second, and put your kids, make sure you got your kids' thoughts, or not their thoughts, but just their best interest at heart when you're making decisions and behaving. Don't be out there twerking on the pole.
We just try to end the show on a good note. You know what? We gone. Jeez, I'm done. Why? You couldn't just end the show. You couldn't just end the show.